Do you really want to know why you can't lose weight when you drink alcohol? Stay tuned, I'll tell you all about it. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for hanging in. My name is Marc and you're watching MDTV. I'm a personal trainer and a sports scientist, and my role is to educate people about food, nutrition, fitness, and all these things which are, connected to your health. And today we're talking about a rather serious sort of topic, and that is alcohol. And I'm going to tell you a bit later in the video, very shortly, about why alcohol inhibits your fat loss, or why you're not able to lose weight while you drink alcohol. My top 5 in a minute. So I just want to talk about alcohol in itself. I'm going to give you a couple of facts which I find rather fascinating and interesting. And the first one is that the World Health Organization actually classifies alcohol as a drug. And that means that alcohol itself is in the world the biggest legalized drug, which is, actually really sad when you think about it. Also, why is it a drug? Because you can get addicted. You can, and then as you're addicted to that drug, you need to go to a 12-step program or any sort of similar program to get rid of it. So it's not a good thing. What else about alcohol? How is alcohol measured? It's measured in units. So 1 unit of alcohol equals to 10 milliliters or 8 grams of pure alcohol. And so what does that mean? That means, for example, a pint of beer has around 3 units of alcohol and holds a caloric value, or has around, I think, 180 calories. Now, red wine, for example, a big glass of red wine, so 250 milliliters of red wine, has around 3, sometimes even 4 units of alcohol, and has a higher caloric value, around 220 calories. It depends obviously on which beer and which wine you're drinking, but just use that as a rule of thumb. The other thing which I think is quite interesting or good to know is how your body metabolizes, or at which rate your body metabolizes alcohol, and that is at 1 unit per hour, which means you basically, if you drink a pint of beer which has 3 units of alcohol, means it takes you 3 hours to get rid of that alcohol totally in your body. But what that implies and what the effects are, I'm going to talk about a bit later. How does your body metabolize alcohol? Well, or how does it get rid of it? There are a couple of ways. One is breathing. The other one is urine. It could be your sweat, but most of the time it's metabolized or broken down in your liver. And what the effects are for that, I'm going to talk about in a second as well. And the last one is the guidelines in the UK for what they recommend of how much you should be drinking on a daily basis is for a male between 3 to 4 units, and for a woman 2 to 3 units. Which, if you ask me as a trainer, I would still say that's too much. So why can't you lose weight while you drink alcohol, and how does alcohol affect your weight loss in general? Here are my top 5. So number 1 is that alcohol itself carries a caloric value, which means 1 gram of alcohol has 7 calories. So if you're on a calorie diet, if you count your calories, means that whatever amount of alcohol you drink, you will need to add into your calorie account. So just to compare, carbohydrates and protein have around 4 calories a gram, and fat has 9 calories a gram, so alcohol has 7. It's somewhere in the middle, so it has a bit more than your normal pizza and the carbs you're eating. So that's something you need to consider. And that affects your weight loss, because most of the time, I think 90% of people who were asked how much calories your beer has, they have no idea. So beer has around 150, a pint of beer 150 calories, and a glass of wine, a big glass of wine, has around 200 to 220 calories. So this is something you need to consider while you drink alcohol. Number 2. And this is, I think, the most important bit. I really want you to understand this point, so make sure you pay attention. Okay? Little wink here. So alcohol has no nutritional value, which means your body cannot use it at all. So the first thing your body wants to do is get rid of it, because it has no nutritional value means also your body cannot store it. And so what happens? As you drink alcohol, it's getting broken down by your liver. And now let's think about the liver, and this is the important bit I want you to get, because you're going to realize in a second. Now your liver breaks down the alcohol, metabolizes it on a basis of 1 unit per hour, breaks it down, which is fine, right? That sounds good. Now the bad thing about it is that the liver is also responsible for your fat metabolization, means that your fat breakdown and that your body is able to utilize fat properly also happens in the liver. Now, as alcohol is a toxin to your body and your body wants to get rid of it as soon as possible because we cannot store it, means the liver will prioritize the breakdown of alcohol compared to the secondary nature of what the liver does, is breaking down the fat. So every time, as soon as alcohol enters your mouth, your fat metabolization of the liver will stop. So alcohol switches on and fat metabolization stops. And that's crucial to understand as you're on your weight loss journey. Every time you drink alcohol, you will not be able to burn fat. And if you think about it, if you had, like, let's say 2 big glasses of wine or 3 pints, that might be something like 9 to 10 units of alcohol, which translates into sort of 10 hours of your body trying to get rid of this alcohol. And in these 10 hours, your body cannot burn fat. So keep that in mind, and I hope you understand this point. If you haven't, just go back and listen to it again, because it is really important. Number 3, alcohol is a toxin, and as it is a toxin, it affects or damages our stomach linings, the intestines, your kidneys, and your liver. Now, why is that bad? And how does that affect your weight loss? Well, when you think about it, if you eat food, most of the time it will get broken down in your stomach a little bit, then in the small intestine, large intestine, and so on. So if these are sort of inflamed or not working properly, your body will not be able to function at the full capacity, because, you know, all the vitamins and minerals and everything you need that your digestion works properly happens in all of these organs. So if they're not functioning or malfunctioning, that is an indication for diseases, or, you know, the floodgates open and you're getting worse and worse and worse. Now the liver is one of, I would say, the most amazing organs in your body, because it's able to regenerate itself to 100% in a life, or in a cycle of 30 days. So if your liver is damaged to 50 to 70%, your body can repair that liver to 100% of fully functioning again, which is amazing if you think about it. But the problem with that is, and this is where all these detox programs and all that stuff most of the time doesn't work, because they're just for one week really, is that if you keep drinking alcohol, all you're doing is your liver is trying to recuperate and regenerate, but it's always getting, you know, like a hit on the head all the time, back down, back down. So it will not be able to regenerate fully. So therefore, cut down on your alcohol. Number 4, alcohol lowers testosterone. Now testosterone is known as the hormone, or a muscle building hormone in your body, and also as sort of a fat burning hormone. Now I'm not going to go into more detail about it, but how does that translate? Well, if you have more muscle in your body, it raises your metabolic rate, and as you have a higher metabolic rate, you will burn more fat. So this has a big effect on your weight loss as well, as it inhibits your testosterone. You can go into the gym, you can work out, but if you drink alcohol, you will not have the same effect, because testosterone levels are lower, and therefore you're not able to build the same amount of muscle you could have done if you haven't had any alcohol. Number 5, alcohol increases your appetite. And that's quite interesting, because if you think about it, most of the time you don't just drink alcohol, right? You drink alcohol with your food, with something with it. And now alcohol has another thing, and that is, it is a central nervous system depressant, which means it has an effect on your motor skills, on your thinking, on your focus, and all of a sudden you start eating more, and, you know, you're not that conscious, and oh, let's have another beer, another shot, another this. So you're sort of lacking the willpower and the self-control of things, and that's why it you know, it not only stimulates you to eat more, but you're also not that much in control anymore. So I guess all in all, these 5 things should give you more reason than ever to not drink alcohol anymore. if you've got problems with it, and I do understand that sometimes you wanna break, and because it's somehow, you know, it's a reward for people, it's a coping mechanism, it's so many things and excuses to drink alcohol because of peer pressure and so on. I understand that. But understand one thing, you always have the choice. You're the one who makes the choice of picking up that glass and drinking it. And I always think that someone who's able to go into a pub and not drink alcohol is much a stronger personality than someone who does. Okay, so I hope you learned something, and because I think it's such an important topic, and I want to really get people to understand what alcohol does to their body, please share this video with as many people as you think would benefit from this information, because quite frankly, me as a trainer, I get asked all of the time why I'm not losing weight, and I see face-to-face people suffering on treadmills and everywhere, and they're thinking, why am I not getting the results? This is one of the main reasons. So share this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel so you get all this stuff straight into your inbox and you don't have to worry finding me on the internet again. Yeah, and yeah, I would love to have a discussion with you as well. So, you know, let me know what you think about the video. Just write something in the comment box below. We'll have a discussion there. And yeah, I'll hope I'll see you in the next video.